there is importance for nutrition for healthy living. Everyone knows that really well. Because of COVID, I mean, I have clients who are billionaires. I have clients who are software engineers. I have clients who are middle class people. They all talk the same language. Keep no matter how many cars or bikes or how much of food you can buy or whatever it is, you cannot replicate your human body. So I'm born in 1975. So I'm a 1975 vehicle. Now I will die in this vehicle. So what I'm saying to all my fellow colleagues at Zivanza and the clients who will walk into the Zivanza clinic in Dubai is this: the one investment that you need to focus on is not gold, is not a new car, is not a new house. It is your body. And the only way you can do this is by having greater health. And in current day and age, we have understanding of genetics. What is genetics? Genetics is the software code in your human body. All of us have these fancy phones and fancy computers and all, and they have computing power that we don't even use 2% of. But we still want to buy the most fastest computer and most fastest phone, and it has to have all these features. When it comes to the human body, you want to copy what your neighbor is doing. Oh, my neighbor did keto diet, I will also do keto diet. My sincere request to you is, as one of the leading nutritionists in the world, when people come to me, I ask them, what is it that you're going to look at? You're going to look at your body, you're going to look at your genetics, you're going to look at your lifestyle. And when you talk to a nutritionist, when you talk to a health coach, when you talk to a physical fitness trainer, these people will create a schedule for you to follow. It may be exercise, it may be diet, it may be supplementation. So for me, I believe if your nutrition is not bio-individual and is not one-on-one, which is why when I started off with Zivanza, I said, hey team, can we have it bespoke? I do not want to give a one diet size that fits all, because there will be no success. And after 5 months, people will say, we went for diet plan. And because we went for the diet plan, we basically tried it out, but there were no results. What is a diet plan for me will not work on my brother. Okay. So I want everyone to understand this, and I'm going to take.
Ryan, can you make the PPT bigger, like a full screen?
All right.
Yeah.
Give me a second. The moment I do that, it takes a 30-second tag in. Okay. Is my screen sharing now?
The screen is sharing, but it's not full screen. Yeah, now it's fine. Great.
Okay. All right. So the first whole point over here to all the participants is nutrition is bio-individual. All right. And what does this mean? I recently had a gentleman who walked in. He had very high HbA1c, which is a glucose marker. So when you're in Dubai, get a blood test done. And I will tell you what are all the list of blood tests done, because just following a diet blindly in 2022 is, in my opinion, not scientific. And I know you are a scientific person, and that's why you're sitting in on the seminar today and you're watching in on what is it that Zivanza and Qua Nutrition have to offer you. What we have to offer you is an innate understanding of what goes into your body. If there are women in this audience, this slide is for you. My wife, she buys these shampoos and lovely creams and everything and all that stuff. And a lot of times I go shopping with us, as I think most husbands do that. We carry the bags, we look at it. Oh, shampoo, huh? Oh, arginine. Oh, vitamin C. Oh, wow, this has got vitamin B. Oh, it's got protein. It's got coenzyme Q10. All of these are nutritional molecules. You are dead on the outside. Applying stuff onto your body, the amount of money that you spend on external applicator, I am here to convince you, spend 3 months, 90 days on internal change of nutritive molecules, nutritional supplements going into your body. And that is the reason why Anushka Sharma and a host of other film stars come to me, because they whisper from one person to the other. It's like, we went to Ryan Fernando, energy went up. We went to Ryan Fernando, this happened, that happened. Oh, I had an acidity issue, it disappeared. There is no rocket science here. There's just simple logic. You are a machine. You have a blueprint which you've got from your mom and dad, which is your genetics. If I can get into your genetic blueprint, if I can get into your blood test, and if I can get into your microbiome. Ladies and gentlemen, microbiome is the part of the stomach where 2 kgs of bacteria and other microorganisms lives. So like in Dubai city, okay, if you compare Dubai and another city in the world, Dubai has a lot of discipline. I remember coming to Dubai many years ago, and I was sitting in this car, and my friend was driving super fast and he took a turn. Now in India, we take a turn very slowly because, left, right, people come from any side, you may bang somebody. But in Dubai, he took the turn at almost 60 kilometers an hour. And I was like, whoa, there's a system. Right? So even in your gut, if you have good guys, there's a system. If you have bad guys, there's chaos. So whenever people have imbalanced health, I go at the gut level and figure out what is the population of bacteria and who is creating all of this fight inside of your body, and who is creating all of this, what we call as tamasha, what we call as a theater and soap opera inside of your stomach. So ladies, if you're watching this, before you spend a lot of dirhams on your external beauty, I would ask you to walk in and consult my colleague, Miss Gupta, who's a dietitian, and let's figure out how we can do this together. And yes, as Shweta has said, the COVID is there. I will try and be in Dubai as soon as possible to start working with you. Now, a lot of people ask us, what do? We do genetics, we do blood chemistry, we do something called the omega balance. Research has shown people in Asia have a lower omega-3. Who's omega-3? Omega-3 I'd like to call like my favorite auntie. I have this one auntie, she takes really good care of me. Whenever I go to her house, she makes the most wonderful food and then she'll pack it up in a tiffin box and send it back with me. That's omega-3. I have another auntie, I have to call her up, she'll say not today, not tomorrow. That's omega-6. It's an inflammatory omega-3, an omega-3 fatty acid. So when you have a high omega-6, it imbalances your body, more plaque formation, more heart disease. And by the way, if you join all the dots on the internet from research and people who are scientific virologists and doctors, there is greater incidences. I'm sure if I ask Zivanza team, have there been more incidences of blood clot, heart attacks and other things? We would look statistically and find there is a greater incidence of these things happening. Because of stress today, because of COVID, because of the vaccination, because of work from home and we're working more number of hours. So our health is taking a bashing. So if you're in the age group of 40 to 60, I would not ask you, I would demand of you that you register tomorrow morning with a dietitian. I demand it of you because if you change the way you eat, you lower your inflammation. If I know your body composition, if I know your lifestyle, if I know your food allergies, I can tell you, please don't eat that cottage cheese because it's creating mucus every morning and you're sneezing every morning and that's contributing to inflammation. But you said all my life I've been eating it, but all your life are you prepared to now get a heart attack because there is inflammation which is combined with the environmental inflammation of COVID, the vaccine inflammation, the stress inflammation, the work from home inflammation, all of these things. In simple English, if you could live under a tree and not have an internet connection, I think you'll be very unstressed. But having said all of these things, these are things that we can put together for you. I can proudly say that my team is about 55 dietitians. We work globally across the world using the internet, Zoom, Skype. And I remember this one gentleman on Christmas Day called me up and it's like, hello, I'd like to speak to Ryan Fernando. I was like, this is Ryan Fernando speaking. So he says, I just saw a few of your videos and all. What qualifies your team to be the ones that to take care of my health? So I thought long and I says, this guy's from America. He knows nothing about Amir Khan and Virat Kohli and everything. And I said, so there was a lady who decided to do exercise for 26 hours. So when she decided to break the Guinness World Record of non-stop aerobics of 26 hours, she picked up the phone and called us and said, hey, Ryan, could you design my diet for me 6 months later to break the Guinness World Record of non-stop aerobics? And let me tell you why she reached out. Her doctor said to her, you can exercise, but 2 reasons you will fail the Guinness World Record. 1, your heart could have a heart attack. 2, your muscles might cramp. So the lady said, and her name's Dinaz, and Dinaz said to the doctor, so doctor, what do I need to do? So he said, go out and find the best nutritionist in the world that can make your heart not cramp up, heart attack, and make your muscles not cramp up. And we started a process over 6 months of the most bespoke nutrition planning using whatever you're seeing up here on your screen. Okay, so genetic test, for example, when I give a diet to somebody, people come, Ryan, high protein diet. So there are a lot of dietitians and nutritionists out there in the world. They are academically qualified, but from a medical perspective of bespoke nutrition planning, they need a certain iota of experience. Like, let me give you an example. We have a cardiac rehabilitation division. So if any of you have undergone a stent or a bypass, or you've got statins, we follow certain protocols. For example, Dr. Robert Sinatra from the US. Now, when we give nutritional supplements, we give things like coenzyme Q10, L-carnitine, and we back it with scientific studies. But when you give something like pomegranate, okay, people are like, how will pomegranate help me? Do you know, when I tell you to take pomegranate, it will reduce your carotid artery, which goes to the brain. If you take it for 1 year consecutively every day, those who have CAS, carotid arterial stenosis, you will reduce your arterial blocks by up to 35% as per a study done on 10 people. And the people that did not eat pomegranate had a 10% increment in plaque formation or blockage increase, which is a diameter shrinkage of your arteries, which means higher BP, chances of stroke, chances of blood clot, etc., etc. So when you have a genetic test, everybody in today's world is, you need to take protein. Why? Because we're very enamored by all of these bodybuilding magazines, heroes, these film stars who are all bulky and six pack and all. But let me tell you something, whilst marketing is encouraging you to eat more protein, you might, from a genetic perspective, not be taking the requisite amount of protein, and that might be saving your life. Have you ever seen a lot of doctors say don't take extra protein, it's not required. But from the fitness industry, everyone's like protein, protein. So suddenly you decide to join the gym, you want to lose weight, you come for a Zivanza Qua diet plan. Oh, I'm going to do heavy workouts and all. You suddenly start putting loads of protein into your body. But if you have a gene test that says, hey, you know what, you're not likely to lose weight with a high protein intake. So this is a traffic signal model. Red over here on my screen means down the high protein diet's not going to work for you. And a green, where the marker will come in green, you'll get a very good protein. So somebody with a midpoint marker, I will call up my dietitian and say, hey, dietitian, you know what? This person's genetics says you can't. No, sir, but he wants to take 5 scoops of protein powder. I'm like, listen, he's going to take only 15 grams of protein post-workout. We're going to focus on the other parameters for his or her weight loss. Like, for example, you coming and visiting the clinic every month. Because trust me, nutrition counseling is like tuitions. If you've ever gone for tuitions and got teaching in school and then tuitions, you kind of get better at something. So if somebody just gives you a diet plan, you're not going to get good. If somebody just gives you a genetic test, you're not going to get good. You need a counselor who's going to call you up, who's going to poke you, who's going to be on a WhatsApp group with you and constantly kind of coach you and motivate you. And I think that is the requirement that we bring to the table for you having a more successful plan. There's a very interesting genetic marker. Okay. Weight loss or weight gain with exercise. Do you know that 60% of Indians cannot lose weight with exercise? And when I go to the gym, I see all of these 60 plus aunties running on the treadmill. Sorry, due respect. But 60-year-old, I tell, ma'am, auntie, please don't run on the treadmill. Like, no. If I run on a treadmill, I'll burn more calories. But do you know whether the gene is there in you for burning calories or not? Why am I saying this? Everybody believes they can work out for 1 hour and then mistreat their body by eating whatever they think is right, whatever you think is right, whatever you have been taught by love and culture to eat correctly. But hang on, love and culture is okay. But if you're facing problems of weight gain, you're facing inflammation problems, your blood test is bad, your skin is getting depigmentation, you're looking older than you normally look, could your love and culture be wrong? So in 2022, why not look at the science behind the whole thing? I would like you to do blood test, and I'm sure Zivanza will be able to help us out in getting your blood test done. And I'm of the huge belief: do blood test at the starting point, and then do blood test about 6 months later. Look at all of these profiles, and uh, one thing, if you even if you don't come to us for a diet plan, and I would say this to you: if you do a blood test and you're taking medication, oh, my bp is good, so sir, what are you taking? Oh, I'm taking telmat 4 mg. Your bp is not normal. You're taking medication, and medication making people normal. When people are on no medication, then it's normal. So please don't have this thing that I have sugar, I'm taking diabetic medication and my sugar is normal. You're not normal. You're artificially propping yourself up. And research today is showing that changing your nutrition, planning your nutrition, understanding your human body gives you quicker results than a lifelong journey with medication. There are so many trends out there. Sir, do I do intermittent fasting? Do I do keto diet? Do I do Atkins and stuff? I'm like, whatever is your name, do that plan. So I'm doing the Ryan Fernando plan. I've got my genetics, I've got my microbiome, I've got my blood test, I've got everything out there. And if you're living in the city of Dubai, I mean, that's the mecca of the world right now in terms of bespoke. Everything's so bespoke. So what are you doing about your diet? Let's get your diet also bespoke. We do the medical condition also. We specialize in weight gain, PCOD, thyroid, diabetes, bone health. My team has not put over here cardiac. I've been, for the longest period of time, I've been jumping on my team's head to launch the cardiac rehabilitation, because I've seen in the COVID period, we had a very famous South Indian film star by the name of Puneet Rajkumar, who was doing a workout and then passed on because of a heart ailment, a heart attack. And he was my client many, many years ago. And he was 47 years of age, just 6 months older than me. And for nearly 10 days, I got up in the morning and I would have a shower and I'd constantly be thinking about him. I'm 47, I could die of a heart attack. I know the virus is affecting. I do have cholesterol. What am I doing about it? What am I doing about diet? What am I telling the world about having a healthier diet? So there's a lot of things that you can do. And if a free tip can be taken from this seminar, buy a pomegranate farm. If you can't buy a pomegranate farm, make friends with a pomegranate fruit dealer in Dubai and make sure that every week you buy 7 pomegranates for him. Yeah, pomegranate is a little cumbersome. It takes a long time to peel. So all of you under 30 years of age, I know you're lazy. You're in fast pace. You got to get to your job. You can't peel that pomegranate. You're going to feel really lazy. But trust me, the seeds inside of pomegranate are age reversible. They have a compound called punicic acid, which actually, if Cleopatra was alive today in 2022, she wouldn't bathe in milk, she would bathe in pomegranate seed paste. Okay, so take it from me. I can see a lot of women taking down notes in a pomegranate seed paste. I'm going to grind that up and put it on my skin. The dermatologist at Zivanza might shoot me when I come there to Dubai. Please don't put anything on your face because you might have a food allergy. I want to talk to you about this. When you come to the clinic at Zivanza, you're going to stand on a weighing scale. The biggest myth on the planet, and both my in-laws are doctors, with due respect to them, as my in-laws and as doctors. My mother-in-law steps onto the weighing scale, gynecologist. My father-in-law, orthopedic surgeon, steps on the weighing scale. So, Papaji, what's your fat percentage? Oh, fat, that muscle doesn't matter. My weight should remain stable. Inside your body, there's bone, there's water, there's muscle, and there's fat. Fat is the issue for the human body. So look at these 3 women over here. All of them have the same weight: 54.8, 54.8, 54.8. Notice the middle woman is smiling. All the weight is same. Look at the body fat percentage in the red, 15.8. Look at the lady who's sad, 31.5. So they're all of the same age. And look at the body age. Fat contributes to your metabolic age. So whilst I'm 47 years of age, my metabolic age is 33. So when you have a fat percentage, when you have a belly, when you have higher visceral fat, how do you control that? I want to go on a diet. Yes, you want to go on a diet. What do you want to do? I want to lose weight. No, I want to lose fat. How do I lose fat? Well, you lose fat by the proper dietary techniques, taking care of your hormones, your blood test, looking at your genetics, and above all, exercising. Nobody on the planet would have ever told you this. You're hearing it from Ryan Fernando the first time, because most slimming clinics want to cheat you. I can do your weight loss in 3 months. And I'm not focused on building a weight loss clinic. I'm focused on building a health and wellness nutrition practice at Zivanza with you. Fat cells reside in your body for 8.4 years. You know, my blood, if I give my blood, within 4 months, I get new blood. My stomach cells within 9 days. My skin cells within 4 weeks. Okay, my bone replaces 10% every year. But my fat cell stays in my body for 8.4 years. So when you do a diet, your fat cell is this size, you do diet, you do exercise, the fat cell shrinks in size. But then you go to Maldives for a holiday and you spend 2 weeks over there and you eat whatever you want, boom, the fat cell comes back up again. You need to take a long-term nutrition eating perspective. There is no such thing as a diet. There's something called as a eating plan, a nutrition plan. In fact, I don't like the term diet. Diet is very, very negative. So I basically want everyone to understand, when you start a journey with us, the dietitian or nutritionist, plan to work long haul. Don't look at short-term results, because short-term results are only detrimental to your body. By the way, walking is one of the best exercises. If you see this red bar over here, red is the amount of fat and yellow is the amount of carbohydrate. It's the ratio of how much of energy is utilized. Very simple. You can imagine your mobile phone has two batteries. You have a carbohydrate battery and a fat battery. When you talk very fast, when you run very fast, you burn more of carbohydrate. When you talk or walk very slow, weight train, yoga, walking, you burn more fat in your body. This is a tip from me to you today. So you can reach me, Ryan Fernando. You can find me on the internet and stuff like that. And you can subscribe on my LinkedIn channel or my YouTube channel. I love to do lectures and webinars for people. I can go for 1 hour, I can go for 1 day, I can go for 1 week on the science of nutrition. So if you're in Dubai and through the Zivanza network of clinics, you want us to come across and talk to your employees to change their health because you can improve their productivity, please do reach out to my colleagues at Zivanza, and we will see how we can begin the process in Dubai of educating everybody for better health. You can also call up on this number +971 5656 55109. Oh, that's pretty easy. 971 56 56 55 109. So this is the place that you can reach us at. I'm just going to leave it over there, and I'm going to come in for any question and answers that people have in. Do you have any questions? I have no time bar. I'm with you in Dubai as the sun is setting. I don't know, Japneet, if the sun is already set in Dubai, but it's already 7:30 in India, and I'm happy to take a lot of questions.
Thank you, Ryan. And my biggest takeaway is I should start eating pomegranates for sure. Right. Thank you. And, so we are open for questions. I urge all the participants here, please ask questions. This is your opportunity because Ryan is not easy to get otherwise. So there's one question which says, nowadays, quality or quantity of food is in our diet is quality or quantity of food in our diet is important. Oh, so the question is basically, what is more important, quality or quantity?
Very good question. Very, very good question. I want everyone listening in to understand this. As a human race, we are eating more than we require. If you agree with me, put in the chat box, we should eat less. So everyone type up, if you agree with me, we should eat less. If you don't agree with me, don't type up anything. I want to see how many people type in and tell me that, we should eat less, because that is where the portion of quantity comes in. Let's go back 1,000 years. 1,000 years ago, we didn't have fridges. We didn't have all round year seasonality. Last time I came to Dubai, I saw mangoes in Dubai in the middle of winter. I saw fruits that I never saw in my life. And I still remember telling my friend, one day I should have a clinic in Dubai. I should come to Dubai and I should settle down here. And like, why? It's like the cars and the fruits. Okay. So Shweta, you're not going to have a lot of trouble to get me to Dubai. The problem for me would be, how do I convince people not to eat all that available produce? Right? So the idea is to go limited quantity, intermittent fasting, but put better quality nutrition into you. Now, Shweta, you don't own any restaurant business, no, in Dubai?
No, not at all. I'm
Okay,
also
okay.
about
So,
that
so imagine you and I were going to start a restaurant business, okay? And you're the finance expert and I'm the nutritionist. Okay, I'm like, yeah, we put in some investment. We'll start a Zivanza restaurant. Now you'll say, Ryan, I need to make profit. So I'll be, ma'am, I want organic egg. I want onions, digit. So suddenly my omelette is costing upwards of 100 dirhams. Okay. Now, the whole point over here is you're not going to make profit when you charge 100 because you're going to now sell it at 400 dirham. So you're going to say, you know what, let's just make an omelette. And this is what's happening with restaurants. This is what's happening in hotels. The quality of the ingredient is based on a profit line, not a nutritional supremacy. So my answer to this person who asked quantity over quality is when you cook food at home, two things happen. Your purchasing is always on based on quality to the best of your ability and affordability. Second, the love by which you prepare food. People are forgetting love today, which is an important component that I want to bring into the doors of the Zivanza clinic. When you practice medically, you have to be a healer and you have to have love. Love for the patient, love for the preparation of the food. So when the patient goes away or the client goes away, so patient, if you have a medical problem, if you don't have any medical problem, you're coming to break the Guinness World Record, Guinness Book of World Records, then it's the love that you do into the preparation of the food, which research has actually shown. People who pray over their food, people who think about the people who prepare their food and they eat it without stress. So another tip, do not look at your phone, do not read the newspaper, do not watch TV when you are sitting down to eat with your family or your colleagues. So Shweta, in your clinics, when people eat together, make sure that you don't allow distractions. In fact, in my clinic, I tell everyone, keep your phone in your cabin and come. So we have conversations, you talk, because when you talk, you eat slower. So all of these things we have forgotten in the fast-paced hustle and bustle. So eat lesser. You can survive on one meal a day. If you get headaches, get in touch with me. Do I eat one meal a day? Not really, because I do get headaches and I need a lot of brain chemistry. But I eat smaller basis. I eat much more organic because I don't want to put chemicals into my body. So this would be my answer today to this lovely person who asked this question.
So, Ryan, what I got from your answer is eat less and eat good quality of food.
Absolutely, because when I fly to Dubai, that guy at the airport's going to say he can't say to me, Mr. Fernando, you're overweight. Now, is he talking about my luggage or is he talking about me? Where am I going with this thought? We are eating more than the planet can give us, and nobody is checking that. The consumption by people on the planet, those who can afford it, is more. Why? Because you're a glutton, because your taste buds are momentarily giving you pleasure. Fine, do that once a week in a cheat meal. But for the rest of the week, eat to what your body requires, and the planet will be very happy with you. Because do you know, if you have a broccoli and you eat 5 broccolis, but you need only 1 broccoli, the amount of water and investment on the carbon footprint to produce those extra 4 broccolis, which could be spread upon the planet, you reduce your carbon footprint. So people are not talking about this. People are not talking about the fertilizer, the wastage, the pesticide. When you eat less, there will be more on the planet. When there is more on the planet, obviously, the requirement of food will go around for everyone. So you could look at it from a very magnanimous and altruistic perspective of eating lesser.
So, Ryan, there are a lot of personalized questions where people are saying, I'm a diabetic, what I should follow, what is the best diet for kids? Is it important? Probiotics is important. I would want to request all these people. This is a launch of Qua Nutrition in Dubai. So we are offering free counseling sessions to all our webinar attendees. So please do write into us. We have the number, so please reach out to us. Ryan, I have a question in terms of COVID, and with this COVID coming again and again, and everybody's tired, and it's all to do with the immune system and immunity which you have, right? Would you like to give some tips to people here in terms of the current scenario? What are some things which you must do to build your immunity in these times. And like I said, everybody out there, each of your questions are very important. We will counsel you one-on-one because I think they're very personalized questions. So I will ask this question to Ryan and then probably get you to get Prerna to answer these questions to you one-on-one.
So Shweta, COVID, I mean, I've been at home for the last 2 years. I go very infrequently to my clinic here in Bangalore, India. People are choosing to consult online. And I thought I would have a very relaxing 2 years, because sports people, diet plan. But I have probably not had a vacation in the last 2 years. It's back to back COVID cases that are coming to us. And I can very proudly say that not a single one of our clients have died of COVID. So touch wood, praise the Lord from that perspective. What are the things that we are doing? Number one, Shweta, one thing, Shweta, I have the documents available for the supplement strategy during COVID, the shopping list in COVID, the specialized do's and don'ts in COVID. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get my team to send that across to you, Shweta, and whoever wants it in Dubai, you can make it available via our Zivanza clinic. Now, few tips. Black tea. I drink black tea. Right now I'm having a cup of black tea. I don't know if you can see that in my cup over there, but that's my black tea.
Black tea with sugar, without sugar?
No. So sugar is going to go straight to my belly. Okay. And sugar is the number one thing that activates the virus spike. So in higher glucose conditions, the virus is also getting energy to be this thing, and your immune system is also suppressed. So lowering sugar is the number one thing. So when people get sick, they're eating pastries, they're eating croissants, they're eating oily food. That's the worst thing you can do to your immune system because it's getting suppressed. So the black tea research had shown that when they poured it in a petri dish in a lab, the spike protein was not able to attach to a cell. So now they say that this is hogwash from a medical point of view. I agree, completely agree. Please take your vaccination. But how do you boost your immune system? For centuries, people drank tea or coffee, which was a stimulant. I would say to you, drink black tea. And why black tea, not milk tea? Because we did a research at Goldman Sachs here in India, where we did a group of people, and when we reduced milk to green tea or black tea, we found a 5 kg reduction in the first year on an average over 100 people. Why? Because when you add milk, you're adding around 50 calories more per glass of tea. When you add sugar, you add another 50 calories. So we went through this process where we realized black tea is number one in COVID. Turmeric, if you can add turmeric in your food, turmeric reduces viral replication. Pepper reduces viral replication. And I'm not talking about only COVID, I'm talking about the cold virus in general. Okay, so we have to look at the general advice that I'm giving in terms of things like mint. Mint has a very high antioxidant level, as is pomegranate, as is coffee. So if you can take 1 cup of coffee a day, it can help you. Again, when we give general advice, there will be me sitting in the background saying, hey, that you can't give coffee. That guy's not a caffeine responder. You're going to affect his health. And that me sitting in the audience is absolutely right. There is something known as bespoke, case to case. So pepper doesn't agree with me. Shweta, I do not take pepper at all because I get acidity. But imagine a big shot nutritionist called Ryan Fernando. Hey, Ryan Fernando, you take pepper, man, very good for COVID. I start dousing myself with pepper and I get my acidity. So sometimes you need to take general advice in a seminar like this with a pinch of salt. And if you ever meet me in public, I never give advice general. I say, please come to the clinic. Please do a blood test. Please sit down with the dietitian. Please give your schedule. Please do the nutrition genetic test. Once you understand that, oh my God, I have got a food allergy towards milk. I should not be drinking milk in COVID time. But if you have no food allergy to milk, please take milk because of its calcium content, which is known to also help the immune system. There are a lot of things like glutamine, vitamin D, vitamin C, selenium, zinc. In fact, in India, I've created an effervescent tablet which has all the good essential herbs in it, including turmeric and pepper. And that's something that I prescribe to all my clients. Drop it in a glass and every day. And in ancient India, it's like a herbal tea. We call it a kada. And people take that. So these are things that people can do. Shweta, I will make these documents available for your website, for your Facebook, and maybe even when this video is recorded and goes live on our YouTube channels, we'll ask our teams to put downloadable links of the COVID documents. So anybody in the world watching us thus this far can get that document.
So I think that's really good. And my team has already shared the link where people can sign up for a free consultation with the QR team in Dubai.
You're being very generous, Shweta. If I was there, I would be like, I want to share a story with you. My father one day walked into the clinic here in India in Bangalore, and it's like, Daddy, I do the counseling and everything. After that, I said, he doesn't carry a credit card. I said, Dad, give me a check. Like, for what? It's like, just sign it, Qua Nutrition Clinics. She looked at me very quizzically. I said, put an amount down. I said, 25,000 rupees. She put it down. And I told it, and he thought I was just taking like it from me. Then I encashed the check. 2 days later, he called me up and he says, which son takes money from his father? I was like, Dad, you took a professional service. If you don't pay for it, you will never recognize the value of it. So people will pay for a movie ticket. People will pay for gas in their car. People will pay to go and visit a fair. People will pay for everything. But when it comes to nutritional advice, people are like, why should I pay for it? Now, let me tell everyone why you should pay for it. The intent of the universe is when you pay for a service, the person sitting on the other side, if they're true to their nature, will collect the token of payment and have to give you wisdom in return. I would rather pay a person for wisdom. So all the tuition teachers for my 8-year-old son are paid in advance. Why? Because I want them to give the right wisdom to my kid. So in 2022, yes, come in for a free consultation, but I would tell everyone, Shweta's offer of a free consultation is the stepping stone for each one of you in Dubai to change your health. And then one more favor I would love you to do. Do what I did. After I collected money from my father, his health changed. He began telling all of his friends to come and change the way they eat. Today, my father's 74, touch wood. He has the cardiac heart disease marker. And touch wood, so far, so good. I am praying to God and I'm praying to my supplements and my wisdom of nutrition that he lives for another 10 years disease-free and incident-free. So let's get together. You, Shweta, will be a brand ambassador. I, Ryan Fernando, will be a brand ambassador.
So Ryan, when I said a free consult for the questions they're asking, see, a lot of people are asking very, how much water should you drink? How much, is probiotic important, not important? I think for questions like this, I'm saying that you can please call and,
Wonderful. Let's do that. Let's answer all of it.
However, if a person wants to go ahead with a diet plan, definitely we will, tell them the charges. But yes, for all these questions, I think it's important that people feel free to call us up and ask whatever questions are there in their head, right? I mean, so for that, I don't want to charge.
Another thing, Shweta, to let Dubai expect this, a consult in nutrition is a little longer than a medical consult. Because we've got to ask you, what did you eat when you were small? From head to toe, we have to ask all the symptoms. For example, if a teenager comes in and has acne, we've got to go through even questions like, was your child a C-section baby or not a C-section baby? Because when a child is a C-section baby, the microbiome is significantly different. And then we ask the parent, what are the foods being eaten? What is the timetable? What is the schedule? So everyone who comes in for a nutrition plan it like a movie. It can be a minimum of 1 hour sometimes. So please make time to come and meet your nutritionist or dietitian at the Zivanza clinic.
With that, I think most of the questions we've already offered. So Ryan, please block your dates for end of Feb or March. I
have a confession to tell you, Shweta. My passport expired in 2021 so my fear is I want to go back to my hometown of Goa and renew it. Just nostalgia. But every time I go book the tickets, I actually booked it on 20th of Jan because Devika said to me, you have to get to Dubai by Valentine's Day. You're going to Dubai and you're falling in love with your new clinic over there. I'm like, yeah, I'll go. And this next wave have started. But I promise you,
Yeah,
that
please get your paperwork done.
I am getting my
Uh,
paperwork done immediately because I'm very excited now that we have launched. I was like, even today might get postponed. We would not launch and all. But now that we are launched, I am going to be in Dubai on the first flight as soon as my passport is ready.